about a major theft from a mail facility at JFK Airport. 2 postal workers have now been arrested, and they're accused of stealing Treasury checks, maybe worth even as much as $40 million.
Welcome to another episode of the Brandy and Blends podcast. So, out of all these people on the earth looking for work, I know so many people right now looking for jobs, can't find jobs, been searching for jobs for months. We got kids that are looking for jobs, can't find jobs. I just seen somebody yesterday at Dollar Tree talking to the cashier, talking about how many times that she's applied for a job here, but she keeps seeing new people. So my point in saying all that is you see all these people trying to look for jobs, and these 4 individuals are just doing some amazing things. They just don't appreciate their job, I guess. And you got nerve to have a good job. These 4 individuals work at the United States Postal Service, the USPS, and they are being charged in connection to a $63 million fraud operation. That is crazy. Federal prosecutors have charged 4 individuals in connection to a $63 million fraud operation that involves stealing checks and selling them online using Telegram messaging. Wow. That is just crazy. Enjoy your job. I know you're getting broke off already. You know what I mean? But $63 million though, now we know they have to inflate when everybody, the man start adding stuff up and all that. Yeah, it's probably half that. Y'all was banking. Why you didn't get in and get out? It wasn't right in the first place. You can't be taking people mail, bro.
News 4's Gus Rosendale joining us from the newsroom tonight with what else we've learned, Gus.
Well, Natalie, detectives with the NYPD tell us they were initially tipped off by a bank that red flagged suspicious deposits, and they end up joining forces with federal authorities, and that joint effort led to arrests earlier today.
What you guys do? What happened?
Tonight, these suspects are accused of conspiring to steal more than 100 checks worth millions of dollars from the JFK mail facility.
But according to a criminal complaint, it was filed on May 22nd of 2025, so this is very, very recent, all right? Williams of Rochester Hills, I ain't putting a full name out, Foreman of Eastpointe, Hargrove of Detroit, and Jenkins of Detroit. Hargrove and Jenkins were both U.S. Postal Service employees, so I guess the other 2 was just, helper-outers, I guess. Prosecutors say they used their access to steal high-value mail, including IRS tax refund checks and other negotiable instruments, which they then passed on to Williams and Foreman in exchange for payment. Williams and Foreman allegedly ran 2 Telegram channels, Whole Foods slips, and get ready, Uber Eats slips, where they posted photos of stolen checks for sale. Slips, slips is a slang terminology used to refer to stolen checks, if you didn't know. The Telegram channels targeted different price ranges. Checks listed on Uber Eats slips had a face value of about $1,500, or other checks that were on there were like under $1,500, and they were listed as being sold for $75. So pretty much they would list the check would say it's worth $1,500. You would pay them $75, and then somehow you would get access to that money. Let's go ahead and go on and see if they tell us down here.
We uncovered really a point of compromise, and that point of compromise was JFK Post Office.
Prosecutors believe it's the biggest theft at JFK since the famous Lufthansa heist in 1978, when about $6 million in cash and jewelry was stolen from the airport. United States Attorney for the Eastern District of New York, Breon Peace, said in a statement, criminals who cash in on checks stolen from the mail can expect to fill out change of address forms for the federal prison they will be calling home. 2 of the defendants, prosecutors say, worked for the Postal Service. 3 others are charged with endorsing and depositing what investigators describe as stolen checks issued by the U.S. Treasury, mainly heading to international destinations.
They actually have a buy 4, get 1 free offer. Interesting. That's crazy work. So you buy 4 checks and then you get 1 check free. That's okay. Meanwhile, Whole Foods slips showcased high dollar checks worth tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars, all sold at deep discounts. So you selling a check for $100,000, you probably selling that for $5,000 or something like that. That's crazy right there. Payments were made through platforms like Cash App, Apple Pay, and Bitcoin. Buyers who were subscribed to the Telegram groups contacted the admins to arrange all off-platform transactions. The stolen checks were then deposited or used to create counterfeit versions, allowing purchasers to attempt fraudulent withdrawals from financial institutions. The total face value of the checks posted through these Telegram groups were over $63 million. Okay, so basically, it was $63 million that was posted that they were able to get pictures of. And, now that's not necessarily how much they got. Okay.
These are checks that people are waiting for. These are checks that people are waiting for their livelihood.
New at 6, we've learned that included Social Security benefits, COVID stimulus checks, and tax refunds. Indictments charge at least $4 million was stolen. However, NYPD detectives think a lot more was taken.
When we look at ledgers that have been recovered and phone records and the like, our investigative theory is that over $40 million has been fraudulently either obtained or affected. So it's a big number.
A team of local and federal law enforcement.
But, who knows how much they got. That's crazy work. So they allow purchasers to attempt fraudulent withdrawals from financial institutions. Okay, so the stolen checks. So it says buyers who subscribe to the Telegram groups contacted the admins to arrange off-platform transactions. The stolen checks were then deposited or used to create counterfeit versions, allowing purchasers to attempt fraudulent withdrawals from financial institutions. The total face value of the checks was over $63 million. If convicted, the defendants face up to 30 years in prison. Have a good day. Okay? This just tells
enforcement has been working on the case for the past year and a half.
These are individuals working at the post office that we entrust. We give really a sacred trust to, right? To deliver everything with integrity.
It is our calling these suspects dangerous. They say one had a loaded gun nearby when he was taken into custody.
When you have jobs like this, leave people's information alone. Do your job. Enjoy the paycheck that you're getting, and be, fortunate that you are able to work and make money like that, make a good paycheck. Working for the post office is no small beans. They make some pretty good money, especially now that wages went up, and this is in Detroit and all that, so I'm not really too sure how their wages are, but you are working for the Postal Service, so I'm sure wherever their wages are, the Postal Service is breaking off some cool money, but they just decided to do the extra. I don't know about that, man. Y'all let me know what you guys think down in the comments, though.